Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Start to Spin. You already know my name is Diego, also known as DJ Pretty Boy and DJ Shay, and we're here together to gather to share some information, knowledge, and all of this with you guys. So, if you are a seasoned DJ or a new DJ, you're always welcome to be with us, and we'll always check you out in the comments, and we'd love to talk to you guys. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and talk about our first topic of the night, which is preparing specifically for like your event or how to go about it. What's the best way to do it? Again, there's so many ways that you can do this, but we go ahead and share our ways, and then you can definitely tell us in the comments how you do it, if you do it differently, if you do the same as we do, and we'll go from there. So, Shay, let us know, man. How do you prepare, or what's your process?
Dude, I mean, like we think we talked about it a little bit last week, but as part as what we do as mobile DJs is you play the songs that the clients want. We're not preparing sets, way in advance, because you never know, on the night of what's going to happen. And I think we all have some tendencies, like there's some songs that we like to play after others because we know that one works. So we have tendencies like that. So I definitely have songs like that where I'm like, I know this transition. I know when I'm doing this one, I would go to this one. But we don't have like a whole thing planned out in our head. So each of our sets will look different too, depending on the energy, depending on how the crowd's acting. So the number one thing is getting an idea of what the client wants, and that's by getting a playlist from them, or just some kind of information, playlist, genres, the do not plays like we talked about last week. That's the number one. And then before I'll talk a little bit more later, because I just had a client meeting right before our podcast, and they had a really impressive. I'll show my planning doc with them that I had, and what they put in there, because it's interesting to see like all the different types of music and stuff that they had in there. But yeah, how do you do it? How do you prepare for a gig?
Well, first of all, what's up, Smiley?
Molly, what's up, man?
Well, let us know how do you prepare for an event, and let me go ahead and just say what I do or how I do it, and while Shay's like getting his stuff ready, um, essentially what I do is the first thing I ask is give me a playlist, or genres, or give me somewhat of an idea that I can gather my research, and then I can gather the content that I'm gonna take for that event. Like I've said this previously, I'm not the type of DJ that's gonna have like a folder saying this is gonna be my first set, and then another folder for second set, and then another folder for peak hour, and another folder. Yeah, no, I don't have it. I have everything. I have everything in folders like 60s or 70s, 80s, Spanish. When you go to Spanish, I have like bachata, cumbia, salsa, reggaeton, dembow, all of that like separated. But also I have a folder where I have all the songs in there. So let's say, for example, I'm DJing, and I see that bachata is working, but I don't like at the moment I can't really think of the song. I literally just search up bachata in my whole library, and it just gives me everything that I need.
Yeah.
And it's, again, I got some of them are color coded because I know that majority of those are like fires, they're hits. Or I have the ones that are a cappella, I have it on yellow because I know that okay, these ones have a cappella. So when I choose them, I don't waste time trying to figure out where I'm gonna start. I already know where to start because I know that this one's an acapella. I know that I need to take the acapella out of the other one and just use the instrumentals, or like cut it on the one, or whatever tricks that we do to do a transition or to do a cut. But
Yeah.
essentially everything starts with the client, at least for me, the client giving you the playlist. And also, again, like I said, I have three meetings with them. The first one is get to know them and see what what's their goal, what they're trying to achieve in this. And one of the questions that I asked, like, your crowd, is it going to be like mainly Hispanic, mainly Americans, mainly Italians, Indians, whatever. and they'll tell me, oh, they're gonna be mainly Hispanics. So when I hear that, I already know, okay, so it's gonna be more Latin based, and that including salsa, bachata, merengue, cumbia, reggaeton, dembow, and everything else, like rock en español and all of that. Then after that, I go farther in, and I'm like, okay, where are you guys from? And the majority of your crowd, where are they from? Because like we were just speaking before going live with like the Indian music, that it's different, depends on the region and all of that. Same thing with Spanish music. So yeah, so like a lot of the stuff, like just to like simplify, if you tell me Mexico, I'm from Mexico, just because you're from Mexico doesn't mean that you dance zapateado. Although just because you're in Mexico doesn't mean that you know what pangos. So different genres are for different regions of the country itself. So a lot of my research comes in place when I ask and I figure out where are you guys from, and then and obviously, let's say if they say, oh yeah, I'm gonna have a lot of people from Honduras. Well, once you hear Honduras, the first thing in your head is Punta, because that's like that's what they're known for, and then you can go, okay, then that's it. But let's say, for example, if they say Peruvians, they're very big on cumbia, but not just any cumbia. It has to be Peruvian cumbia. And some of like the well known, like La Sonora Dinamita, which is a very well known, and like their music is very very well known, and then salsa is big too on in Peru. So it's not just any type of cumbia. So it's very specific to the event and to the crowd that you're catering. So those are questions that I do ask my clients, because it's very important for me to know where are they from, and from there, your crowd, where are they from? So I know that I have a good amount of music, and from there I can go into the event and read the room, because you should always read the room, not so much your crates. Oh, I guess you want to say it like this: read the room before you read your crates, because that's the best way you're gonna figure out. So go ahead and show us your.
Yeah, Smiley says 100%. Grown folks love that Sonora Dinamita.
Yeah.
I never even heard of that one.
No, well, that's a group.
Oh, it's a group.
Yeah, and they sing cumbia. But their music is fire. So like everybody knows their music. Everybody in the Latin community, everybody knows Sonora Dinamita music.
Yeah, so that exactly like you said, it's the same thing. I mean, I think most. I mean, we just have the Hispanic and then the Indian covered, but I'm sure it's similar for most, even in America, right? Think about if you, as an American DJ, if you're DJing for someone from New York versus somebody from Georgia or Texas, even just that, the song's choice is probably going to be a little bit different, because in Texas, like it's there's universal songs, but in Texas there's more specific. Maybe country music, maybe certain line dances that it's like, oh, you have to play this. So it's, I think anywhere, anytime you have like a big country, depending on the region, you have to know what the region is. It's not just, oh, everyone that speaks Spanish, will dance to cumbia, or everyone from India is going to dance to this same song. It's region specific. So I think that's an important question. And like I said, I just had a meeting where this is a mixed couple. It's actually 2 nights, so they're doing Friday and Saturday. So see here, they're doing Punjabi music. So that's a specific type of music from India, and people from a specific region will like that type of music. So that's like North India. So I talked about that with them, that that's the kind of stuff that they would want. And then if you look, these guys kind of went above and beyond. But this is how I do my planning. I give them a Google Doc with I like have this stuff written out, like music request, please list anything, blah blah blah, and then they can write down whichever way they want, all the stuff. So this is how they did it. Look, they wrote samba, bossa nova, jazz, all these artists, Tribe Called Quest, Frank Sinatra. So they're all over the place, and that's just the background music, for the first night. And then, dance music, bhangra, both Western Indian, hip hop, fun. And, they put all the songs and stuff in there. So just looking at this, is this kind of how you do it, or how do you sort of get the information from them?
What's a Bhangra? Is that a
So
song?
that's just the name. That's what you call the dance that Punjabi people do. So the dance that you do to, how people like they do, so they're like, okay, screw the light bulb, go like this, go like that.
Yeah.
That's called Bhangra. That's like the name of that dance. So
okay.
when you play music, they call it either Bhangra music, or it's the dance is also called Bhangra. So it's almost like salsa. Like salsa is the name of the dance, but then it's also the name of the music too. So it's like the music that you can do that dance to.
It says don't blow the lead. What does that mean?
Yeah, so what they mean is they don't go too hard on Friday. This is for the Friday.
Oh.
So they're like, don't make it too crazy Friday. Save it for Saturday. So because what they also told me is they don't, obviously, I mean, this is the goal, but they don't, because I'm doing 2 nights in a row for them. So it's like a welcome party and then the reception. So they don't want me to repeat music. So they're like, okay, well, try not to make it too lit on Friday. Like let's say, like let me show you their Saturday. This is like a ceremony and stuff. I have all the info. But then on this is for the reception. So they want to start with this song. This song, everybody knows this song. This is like this is so popular. So they want to start with that, and then they want to do they want to hip hop, Kendrick, Beyonce. So they want like more hip hop stuff, Jay-Z, Kanye West. These other songs, dude, a lot of these songs I don't even know them, dude. Like I'm like, I don't know that song. Some of these songs, I have to look them up, honestly. But yeah, basically what they're telling me is that because we're having 2 nights, they don't want one night to be they want the second night to be like more hype night,
Yeah.
So
basically, Friday will be your ceremony and cocktail hour, and then Saturday it's your.
Yeah, I don't know. That's going to be the balance that I have to do, because they still have some hit lit songs. This is back to Friday. So like they have "Shut Up and Dance," which is a pretty popular song.
And it's hyped, yeah.
It's Raining Men is pretty popular too.
Oh yeah, that was fire.
So I think it's just about not. I think the main thing I'm not gonna do is not make it like too ratchet. Like not play the ratchet stuff.
Yeah.
And then keep it more like 70s, 80s, like maybe Dancing Queen I'll play on this one, like Staying Alive, more of that white American 70s, 80s stuff.
Uh-huh.
And then leave the more ratchet, newer stuff for the next
Friday. Yeah. Smiley said, but yeah, basically ask the same questions and what kind of genre they mainly look for. But we do throw a little bit of everything from different regions in Mexico, for example, for Mexican parties. Yeah, it's with again, it goes with like reading the room. If you see like the people are just responding to anything that you play, then you feel more comfortable throwing other things, because that they will definitely respond to the song selection. Yep. But another thing, and I feel like this is huge, at least for me, is your first like 5, 10, maybe 15 minutes, you need to earn their trust.
Yeah.
And once you have that earned, bro, it's like a breeze, because everything you play, they'll dance, because they feel, they feel the good energy, the good vibe. So I feel like the first 10, 15 minutes are very important, very crucial with you choosing your music.
Yeah, and that's why I used to start with, just starting out with the 70s, 80s, like classic wedding songs, in the beginning only.
Uh-huh.
The thing is you want to, you don't want to make it too crazy, but you want to throw in some hype stuff, like a little bit, to show them that, you're not just going to be just that regular wedding DJ that plays all the normal stuff. And because in that 10, 15 minutes, if you think, oh, I'm going to start with something everybody knows, they're going to think that, oh, like everyone else might think, oh, this guy is just another average wedding DJ. But do that, play some of that, just, so you get all the crowd involved, but throw in like some new song, like throw in like a Rihanna, or like some like upbeat pop or hip hop song, just for a little bit, just so that the younger crowd is like, oh shit, like okay, like it's not just the regular old like wedding stuff. And then come back, play this. Then that way you don't lose the older crowd. They still bobbing out there. And then to come back to it. And then later in the night you can go more into the hip hop stuff.
That's true.
But that way it's like in that first 10 to 15 minutes you can kind of gain their trust. Smiley says for sure. And I look around for people bobbing their heads or lip syncing too. Yeah, dude, that's huge. And that's why when you have the cocktail hour, you have the dinner. That's a big opportunity. And honestly, going back to this, so I want to talk about the do not playlist, but in dinner, that's the thing I was kind of, their dinner playlist is pretty boring, So it's like, if we're doing dinner stuff, like, the goal, like we talked about, the goal is to play stuff that's a little bit more upbeat, get people bobbing, see what they like. But they have some like pretty like these are old singers. First of all, these are Indian singers up here. These are like older people, and then they're like Beatles, Neil Young, Simon and Garfunkel. Like this is like older songs.
Okay, David Bowie. Okay.
Yeah. So what I'm thinking is play that stuff in the beginning of dinner, but then once we start getting towards the end of dinner, start playing some more upbeat stuff.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was gonna say. You can start with like the very, very mild, soft music in dinner, like at the beginning. Once like last maybe like 10 minutes of the dinner, start playing like some vibing. So you telling them, yo, about to get lit.
Yeah, this happens. If you're too boring during dinner, people will start being like, okay, like I guess the party is like over now. Like they'll start to feel like, oh, the party's wrapping up. Like it doesn't seem like there's gonna be anything after this. Like people will get
a lot of people will just eat and leave too.
Yeah. So you gotta kind of like build the energy. So I think that's exactly the way I'm gonna approach it. Is okay, they didn't put any hype songs in there, but that doesn't mean I can still play these. But then I can play my own stuff. Once I play these in the beginning, just because they don't have anything hype in here, to me that doesn't tell me that I can't play it. It just tells me play this, then I can play the stuff that I want to play.
Just know that you can't play it tomorrow though.
Yeah, that's the thing. I have to. So this will be a good tip. So people like I don't have my library reset every time. Like the songs I played last time still stay blue.
Okay.
So that's a setting in Serato. You can turn that off, is not to reset the tracks when you exit. Because usually when you turn it off, it'll reset everything. Everything will be. So I'm going to keep it so that the things I played stay blue, and that way I know that okay, I already played this yesterday. I don't play it again.
Yeah. Is there any other way that you could, let's say by accident it actually it resets? How would you know?
Well, then I would how you can look at your history on Serato. Yeah. So then I have to do that because that's the only other way. And like like I don't know, I have a pretty good memory of songs that I've played before. Like I'm sure it happens to you too. Like even if you didn't have the blue, you could probably know if on earlier you had played that song or not.
You know what? I've never really thought about that because I'm always looking like if I see blue, I already played it.
Yeah.
And it's, I mean, yeah, I don't know. To be honest,
sometimes the thing about it'll happen though. Like, let's say you load a song. This happens to me all the time. I load a song. I'm getting ready to mix it, and then something changes. I'm like, oh, okay, this now the vibe changed. This now I don't think this song is gonna work. So then I'll take it out and I'll put a new song in. But that song I played or didn't play yet, it'll be blue. It'll have turned blue because to the system it thinks that I played it.
Yeah, if your fader is up, you played it. So,
yeah, exactly. So then it's something I'm like, and then I look at the song, I'm like, no, I didn't play that one, and I'll play it because I'll remember that. No, that was the one that I didn't play because I would have remembered it like on the dance floor. At least that's how it is for me.
Yeah, for me too. But that has happened to me a lot. Like I'm going with the flow and everything. Then I'm like, okay, this song, and then as I'm like prepping the song, I'm like, no, this ain't gonna start. This is not gonna work. This is not gonna work, and then I have to look for another song. Or like you said, if I choose a song, but I look like one eye is on like the computer, the other one, my peripheral is looking at the dance floor. So if I see like their
eyes are like this,
if I see that it's dying down, then I'm like, okay, well, putting this song, it's not gonna help. So
Yeah,
I need to go to
exactly.
something else, and I do. But then once it's blue, I just take that I can remember. Like, okay, this one's blue. I know I played it. I know I didn't play it, out, to them, but it shows blue. So that one I can remember because it's not gonna be a lot. But I don't know how many songs do you play in, like, how many hours? Like 6 hours, 4 to 6 hours. It's a lot of music, a lot of
Yeah,
songs.
it's a lot of music, dude. That's the thing. But then, like, it's different when it's dance floor music, because then I have, at least the way I do it is I have a crate for background music that I like, stuff that fits more with background stuff vibe. So that's when I don't do it genre wise, when the background music. So then in my genre crates, then I
Uh-huh.
have just danceable stuff. Like, I don't put stuff that you can't dance to in my genre crates, just so that I know, like, I don't have to scroll through a bunch of stuff. So then I know, like, okay, I already played this in the background, because it won't even come up on my dancing crates.
Mhm. So you have a crate that's called dancing, and
No,
you
no, no. It's just I have background. I have like reception music or background music. I have American background. I have Bollywood background, and then
oh,
I have Bollywood, reggaeton, hip hop, EDM. But those, when it's a genre, it's only dance floor stuff.
okay,
So
gotcha.
my background stuff will be all mixed. So just what songs that I like playing for background music, basically.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then if it's getting hype though, then I'll go, like, let's say end of dinner. I want more hype. Then I'll go into my dance floor crates and pick ones that aren't super hype, but then I'll go.
What
So then I know that those are a little bit more upbeat.
what I do have on my one of my crates that I call is dance floor fillers.
Yeah,
So
fillers,
those
yeah,
are those are songs that I know that is gonna get the people, that they're gonna get people to the dance floor because they're very known hits that everybody likes. Like everybody likes.
yeah, yeah.
So
So
I like.
Buddy's in the house. Buddy
Hey,
says,
buddy, what's
so
up, man?
so people are sleeping? Question mark. LOL. People are sleeping. People are sleeping at our receptions. He says, "Sup guys, sup man? How you doing?" We're talking about, actually. So this is interesting. Buddy uses Vibo, right? So this is my planning document. So that's another thing we'll talk about is how we do planning. So Buddy, if you missed it, this is literally, I use a Google Doc and I give them a little template and then let them just kind of freeform in here, so you could see how they've written all this stuff. Um, Songs they write, made a list of songs. Sometimes they put genres, so I kind of leave it flexible for them. And then so yeah, we'll hear next about how Diego does it. And then but before we do that, I just want to go in on this do not playlist here. So they specifically, the second one's an Indian song, don't worry about that one, but they specifically wrote, like, don't do any line dances, um and they put that for both nights. Not
Well,
that.
it doesn't say don't do line dances. It says don't do
Okay, so
Cactus Line Cupid Shuffle, but the
So let me
wobble.
scroll up here though. So then on the Friday though, for Friday, this is for the Friday one. They wrote any line dances, and then they wrote R. Kelly. So I'm applying this for the whole weekend.
Okay. I didn't see it on Friday. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
two different dates and two different environments, two different types of
yeah.
things.
But it's
Obviously, if they said that they wanted like a more chill vibe on Friday, a line dance is not a chill vibe. A line dance is something to like boost you up to start, moving.
yeah, to start the dance floor.
Yeah.
But hey, I mean, they just don't want it in general. Even on Saturday, they don't want those. And then this one's funny. So there's this song, Drops of Jupiter. So apparently the groom hates this song, but the bride loves it. And so the
What?
bride put it on the must playlist, and the groom put this, like, star, don't play. He put it on the do not play. So then the bride wrote this note afterwards: don't listen to the groom. Definitely play this song.
So what are you gonna do then?
I
Well,
told her, I'm like, look, like they're kind of making a joke about it. She's like, oh, like, she always plays it every time we're on a road trip. She plays it and sings along to it, and I've always hated this song. And we, like, had a conversation about it. And I'm like, dude, like, honestly, you guys have brought so much attention to this song now. Like, by this, I've never seen a bride and a groom disagree on a song. I'm like, I think I'm just gonna have to make a decision on the night of, and we'll see what I decide to do.
you know what? Why don't you just ask them, hey, so she likes it, he doesn't like it. give me a song that you like and that she doesn't like.
Yeah,
And
that's a good idea.
you,
That would be a
you
good idea.
either you play both or make a mashup of Jupiter, like the lyrics, and then the
The
beat,
song.
the instrumental. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I no, I like that idea of. I should have asked him that. If I talk to him again, I'll ask him that. But yeah, I was like, they were kind of like joking about it and like like, oh, I hate it. She always plays it, blah blah blah. And he's like, dude, if you play that, I'm like, oh, I think I'm leaning towards playing it. He's like, well, I'll tell you this: if you play it, you're gonna get a lot of people screaming in joy from the dance floor. And I was like, all right, well, say less. Like that's
Oh
all you
yeah.
gotta tell me. Like
Say less.
I'm definitely gonna play it now.
I've
So.
never heard of that song. Drops
Yeah,
of
I
Jupiter.
haven't heard of it either, honestly.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was just a funny one. I haven't. I don't know. Have you guys ever had that situation? Like these guys didn't seem that serious about it. Like they were kind of joking. But have you had a situation where the bride is like, play this song, or the groom is like, don't play this song?
Not with the bride and groom, but with the quinceañera and the parents.
Oh yeah. But that's
So,
probably different because one is like a bad song, like bad words or something, right?
well, it's just that the guy he just said he didn't like Bud Bunny, and
Oh, that one. Yeah,
and
yeah,
like quinceañera wanted Bud Bunny. She's like,
yeah.
dude, I want Bud Bunny. I love Bud Bunny, whatever. And the guy was like, yeah, no, anything but Bud Bunny. But at the end of the day, I spoke to him. I was like, look, I thoroughly understand where you're coming from as the dad, but this is not for you. You're paying for it, but it's not for you. It's for your daughter, and you want your daughter to enjoy the night. And
Yeah.
if she wants Bud Bunny, we should give her Bud Bunny. And and I told him, just imagine if she likes Bud Bunny. What is that gonna do? That's gonna have her on the dance floor. And since she is the center of attention, who do you think is gonna be around her in the dance floor? Her friends. Instead of having them sitting down in the freaking tables, let me play Bud Bunny. She's gonna be in the dance floor. She's gonna enjoy the night, and even if she's the only one dancing, she's gonna enjoy it. At the end of the day, what matters is that she had fun, not everybody else, but her. Obviously,
Yeah.
we want to be mindful of everybody else, but the main point is for her to enjoy her party. So, and then after that, we had we talked about it, and he was like, "All right, man, just play it." I was like, obviously, I'm gonna try to play the ones that are like, I can't say the cleanest because none of his music is clean.
Yeah, it's not clean. Yeah.
But there are ones that are like way too much. So those I
Yeah,
will
not for
play.
the crazy, like
Yeah,
crazy inappropriate ones.
yeah. So,
No, but that's a good. I mean, that's the thing. Like, it's for a parent, in a Sweet 16 or quinceanera situation. It's like, that's good that you had that conversation, and it sounded like you need to tell him more. Like, like it's not like a bride and groom, just like they're kind of an inside joke or something. I think I don't think there's a right answer. It's like every situation it depends, because let's say it was a song that maybe it was like a song that mentioned some guy's name or something, and the groom, it's like the girl's ex or something. I mean, I don't think anyone would do this, but if the girl's like, I really want to play this song, and you're like, and the guy's like, no, like it says Tommy or something, and it was triggering for them. It's like about an ex. I mean, that's a different story, but something like this, it's like the bride and groom, they're kind of equal. It's like I'm probably gonna side with the bride most of the time, right? Because the brides are usually the ones that are more particular. But yeah, it was just a funny situation. I was like, all right.
play boots on the ground and keep a shuffle flex.
Yeah, Cupid. No, it's Cupid Flex. Remember that's last week we were talking about the Cupid Flex.
Oh yeah, that's the other one. Yeah, but that.
Hell no, I'm not. So I didn't even like make any. I was like, when there's something like that, like line dance, I'm like, all right, no line dances. Got it. Like, that's not happening. This other one.
Have you ever had to talk to a client about like song choices, about like let's say let's say you talk to your client and your client says, okay, yeah, like majority of my crowd was gonna be like 50s and over. So you're looking at in your head, right? You start thinking, okay, 70s, 80s music, that type of music. But then he's like, okay, but I don't want any. I don't want any disco, or I don't want a specific genre.
Any like 70s music.
Yeah, but that in this party, the thing that's gonna hit the most is disco music, especially for 50 and older. that is the music that they danced when they were back, they were young. So it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. What,
So
what
how
I'll do is what I'll do is because when I only run into this when even this situation, like the clients have a long list, like going back to how long their list was. Like to me, it's not like super long, but this is a more involved list than most clients, just with the number of stuff. So what I'll always ask them is I'll say like, okay, so this is great. You guys give me all these suggestions. Like this is really helpful. But to you guys, like, is your goal that I play within these genres, or do you guys want just for everyone to like have a good time and dance, and then kind of just use this as a guide, or do you want me to like stick to this strictly? So I'll ask them that way. Like, are you prioritizing like just that the dance floor everyone's having a good time, or are you prioritizing that you want this to be the main focus?
Yeah. So the way I go about it, I tell them I would like to have a playlist to guide my preparation. I will include majority of your songs. I do not promise I'll play all of them because I DJ live and I will read the room and go based on that. So, but I obviously use your guide of the type of music that you guys want. And if you do have a must plays, go ahead and add it or include it into the form that I sent you. So give me your playlist, and then usually I ask for like a Spotify playlist because it's much easier. Everybody already has one, or either an Apple Music playlist or whatever.
But now Apple Music works with Serato now, so that's even more reason to Apple Music.
So I tell them that, and then I'm like, and on the form that I have that I sent to them, I tell them any must plays, put them there. So when I get because if you get a playlist from Spotify, it doesn't say must play. It's just the music.
That's the problem with Spotify.
So I'm like, all right, fine. So just on the form, on the must play section, put the songs that you really want to hear that we don't want to miss, and that do not plays. But usually I barely have any do not plays. But I must plays very very few too. Usually I'm gonna be honest. I have been lucky enough that the crowd or like the people that I get hired for are very open minded. Like, you do you, we trust you. And again, it's because they seen me play it already. They see me perform at like I'm not big, but they see me.
They already know that you play what they want. So
so I don't have the do not plays and must plays or whatever. I rarely get those. I do have it on my form, but I do tell them if you send me your playlist, I can go based on that. I don't promise to play every single song in the playlist because I'm gonna be reading the room and going based on what I think is gonna work. But I will definitely include majority of your songs in there. Another thing that I do, and I mentioned that a lot, is the quick mixing thing. So that burns a lot of songs because I'm literally hitting like less than a minute probably. Some of the songs just the chorus and then boom, jump to the next song, or like the first verse and then chorus and then out, and then burning songs. So that's when I also could use their playlist just to start burning songs at one given time of the event. So it's a good thing to have. And I know, like, especially I want to say, probably gonna get like crap for it, but professional DJs will always ask for a playlist. At least ask. If you get it, cool. If you don't get it, cool. But you ask for it.
Yeah, you should ask. So you should ask. Yeah. Then obviously, if I don't get one, I can still do and succeed at the gig. Like it's just once I get there, I'm gonna be locked in. Like as soon as I get there, I'm like, oh, this crowd, we got this old people, this, that. Like you're thinking about all that stuff. Let me hit Buddy's comments. So he's been here for a minute.
I gotta say something about that.
He said they are the boss.
Yeah, they are the boss. Yes, they are the boss. However, there is things that you can talk to them and see if there's like understand why they're saying.
You have a conversation with them. Like for this couple, for example, they had to order as they enter and then dinner and then their first dance after dinner. So I told them, I was like, hey, like, have you guys thought about, entering and then doing your first dance and the parent dances rather than doing it after dinner? And they're like, oh, okay, like, yeah, we were thinking, because we were doing like a choreographed dance, so we thought it would fit in like closer to the dance floor time. But I was like, no, that's a good idea. We just get it out of the way. So like sometimes they might put something in there, but they might not have thought about it. So just don't attack them when you ask them. Just ask them like a conversation. I think you can ask them anything.
Yeah, keep it as a conversation. Because again, yes, like Buddy said, they're the boss. They are the one paying. They the one that have to have fun. But sometimes they don't really know what they want, or they don't expect something that it's gonna happen, and they assume that it gotta go this way when it could change the outcome of the event if you if you understand completely where they coming from, and after presenting what you think as a professional, and they say, okay, that makes sense, let's do it this way, and once you have that connection with them, it's gonna be like amazing.
And the main goal is you just always have your mind sort of framed as what's gonna be best for them and make this most memorable night. So it's not about like or your ego, or like, even you give them a suggestion, they don't take it. Like the goal is what's going to make them have the best party that they can have, And sometimes, so let's say the client tells me like, no, we want you to stick to this exclusively, I mean, I'm going to say that, okay, like, there may be sometimes, maybe not everyone might not know all these songs. But at the end of the day, like, I'm gonna say, all right, then you're the boss. And I think that happened to DJ Bar. I don't know if you watched that YouTube video, but he had a gig where the bride's music playlist was like whack, like super whack.
Yeah.
And he was playing songs that he knew would work for the crowd, and the dance floor was going crazy. But then the bride comes up to him, hey, these aren't the songs that I sent you, and was serious about it. And then told him, happened a couple times, came up, no, like, only play the songs I told you. And he's just like, all right, fine. And he literally just played the songs that she wanted. The dance floor was cleared all night, but that's what she wanted.
There's two things there. One, Bar should have known, if she's telling you strictly to just play the from her playlist, you should have said no. Like, I would say no. Like, you can't limit.
Yeah, or you don't. You kind of have that conversation beforehand. Before you book them.
Exactly, but that's what I'm saying. That's when you say no. No, I'm not saying say no at the party. No, it's when you have the conversation with the client and said, "Oh, I want you to play from this playlist." Again, they are the boss, yes, but you are also let's call it a contractor. So you get to choose whether you take the job or not. Yeah, I'm not a Spotify playlist.
If they do that later, though, you're stuck, because like, shoot, like, what are you gonna do at that point? But
at that point, it's your fault, because you didn't ask, or you didn't step ground. So it's your fault.
That's the thing. It's about your brand. So let's say now everybody that went to that wedding is probably thinking DJ Bar sucks because he's playing all this crappy music.
Yeah, unless you get on the mic. Oh, by the way, this is from the.
That's what I would do. I'm 100. Dude, I don't know. Look, I consider myself a nice guy, but that's not being mean to me. That's just like, hey, shout out to this guy. That's like I do that all the time, dude. When I know a request is gonna bomb and some idiot keeps telling me to play it, I'm like, look, all right, I'll play it. I'm like, yo, shout out to this guy. And then like when people are like looking at me like, yo, what is this song? I'll be like, yeah, this guy. I'll point to him and like be like, yeah.
Wait, hold on. Hey, buddy, you say you did not dance to disco. Your mom and dad did. I was dancing with freestyle.
No, that's because you said like people in their 50s dance to disco.
Well, yeah.
No, because think about it. So they were probably born in the 70s. So when Buddy was in high school, it was the 80s. So when he was a baby, he wasn't dancing to disco. That's when the disco came out.
All right, my bad. I mean,
that's why.
I didn't know.
You gotta go 10 years. 10 years. People born in the late 50s.
Late 50s, 60s. You were dancing to disco. Yeah. My bad.
All right, let's hit these comments though. He said, "I don't have neither." Oh, he's talking about he doesn't have Apple Music or Spotify.
Okay.
He's all analog, or not analog, digital, but not streaming. We have told customers no. It will make it way too hard.
Wait, what?
I think he was. I'm not sure because we missed the part. Maybe you're talking about the playlist, like only sticking to their playlist. Maybe that's what he's talking about. But we can confirm that. And Chinchillin's back in the house. What's up?
Hey Chin, what's up, bro?
And we're talking about how to DJ at weddings. So it's a very broad topic. But in this one, we were just talking about when you make a playlist and how you approach that playlist. If the client tells you, stick to this, are you sticking to it? If they tell you just use this as a guide, are you using that just as a guide? And Buddy says, I'm 50, LOL. Yeah, dude.
Oh,
yeah, 50. So you're right at the beginning of 50 though. So maybe I would dance the disco, but I'm sure maybe in the late people that are end of 50s.
I dance the disco and I love disco music. You know what I'm saying?
It's because you said people in their 50s. So Buddy was personally attacked. He's like, no, I just turned 50. I just turned 50 yesterday, bro. What you mean?
I just love the invitation to his podcast.
To his podcast, to his birthday party, his next birthday party. My contract states something like, even if playlists are provided, is up to DJ discretion on playing the music. It's something like that. That's interesting. Do you have anything like that in your contract?
No, the only thing that I have on my contract is DJ will play music from the playlist if the time permits and if it's in the DJ's repertoire. Now, obviously, if I get a playlist, I'm gonna make sure that I have all those songs. But again, when I talk to the clients, the first meeting before we sign contracts and everything, the thing that I always say is, I would love to have a playlist from you guys so I can get a view of what you guys like. I do not guarantee that I'll play every single song from there, but I will go ahead and pick and choose from there. But I need something to base my preparation on.
Yeah.
So that's what I tell them, and they already know that I obviously will. Maybe I'll start the first 10-15 minutes to earn the trust, play music from their playlist, and then go from there. If I see that it's working, I'll keep going. If I see that it's dying down, I'll start using my, based on what I know. I do that, and then I'll come back to their again. It gets to the point when they're in the peak of the party, then and there's a lot of music that they have that are very upbeat. I'll start quick mixing. That way, I get a lot of their songs out of the way at a specific time that they will remember that I used. So it works for me. So I mean,
yeah, and that's what I do the same way. I just tell them at the beginning, like, hey, you guys can send me a playlist. This is before the booking. You guys send me a playlist to give me an idea of what you guys want, and then obviously there's anything that you are must plays on there. You mark those specifically. And again, just so that they get the idea that it's okay, there's a playlist, but then there's a must play that's separate from that. I think that makes a big difference. But let me hit these comments. Buddy says he got out of high school in the 90s. Yeah, that makes sense. So he was born in 75, and then by the time he graduated high school, it was probably 2003, 2002. So he grew up, in that. No, what 2000? No, 92, 93. A decade, unless he had to repeat high school or something for 10 years.
Yeah.
92, 93. He says he's crying. No, dude, you just turned 50, so you're still you're not what Diego was referring to.
You're still blossoming, okay?
But it was in terms of the disco, the type of music. So imagine if you're born in the 70s, that doesn't mean you're gonna like music from a decade later, because that's when you start listening to music. When I was born, I know 90s music now, but when I was born, I wasn't listening to music. I was listening to the Choo Choo Train and whatever the heck. So I didn't even know what 90s music was until I grew up, and then I started listening back to the 90s music. All right, but Buddy says you have a max of 10 must-play songs. We give them guide rails so they don't have 250 song playlists. Yeah, I think I don't have enough weddings yet that I get overwhelmed, But yeah, when you have a bunch of weddings and then you've got some crazy bridezilla that's puts her whole like library in there because she's
Yeah.
bored and has time. Like, yeah,
Those are crazy. Those are crazy. But I never have one like that. Maybe I would implement that. Like you have a max of 10 or 20 songs that are must plays, and then I just choose when to play it. But because I don't have that. I just have must plays. But again, my crowd, it's always empty unless it's like very like usually a must play for my crowd is the songs that I play anyways.
yeah,
So
yeah. Like stuff you know.
because it's like very Hispanic. So
Yeah.
everybody knows the song.
What I'll say is this is an advantage to using an app like Vibo or whatever DJ Event Planner, because then in the software you can just put, you know, you don't have to tell the clients, hey, don't put more than 10, don't put more than 250. In the software they may not be able to physically do it, so that it's just a guardrail. Because right now, I don't have Vibo, I have on my document, I'll have to write there, don't put more than 250 songs. They'd be like, oh, okay, like, you know, to calm down, you know. But if you just have it in the program that they just can't physically enter more, like it cuts off at 100, 250, whatever, then it's much easier to enforce that.
If you make your form a PDF with just 10 lines, 10 songs.
Yeah, but PDF, I don't like PDF because it's so. Even I hate when people send me PDFs because it's so annoying to type in it, you know. Or so that's why I like Google Docs, because they can just type in it, free form, whatever. So yeah, we'll see if I start getting really busy with weddings and then like I'm getting crazy playlists, then I might, you know, have to switch to that so that I can limit things and keep people in check. So Smiley, I like the contract idea. He said we added it to the contract because in these days everything in writing to avoid clients saying we didn't mention it. Yeah, I think it's just a couple sentences. You know, you can always just throw it in there. So that's a good tip. Like, if buddy, I'm curious, do you have anything like that? Because I know, you know, you have the experience, you've done this, you probably dealt with all different types of brides. So have you ever added that or felt the need to add something like that? But hey, I'll say this though, if you ever do have an issue, if you don't know about the Serato history feature, that's why it's helpful, because you can literally just pull up, these are all the songs I played at the exact time I played it.
Yeah.
And send it. If you ever get into that kind of a situation where you have some really crazy client that's like, you didn't play my song. Well, here's a list of the songs I played, and there's your song at this time.
So regarding that, I did have one client that it was like that. She sent me her playlist, and I learned from that one. She just wanted me to play her playlist, but in my head it was like I can play whatever and then just use her playlist, right? But it was mainly her playlist, and then I started playing like music out of her playlist for dinner, and then she came out to me. She was like, "Hey, those songs are not in my playlist," and I was like, "Yeah, but this is just dinner. Like your playlist is for the party. This is just dinner." And she was like, "No, start playing it from now." And I was like, "Okay." And then I started playing like her music, well, choosing, you know, the ones that are more like chill for dinner. And then I moved to like the more fun ones later on. And then I went and I got all her playlists. I did my joint again, and she had fun. She enjoyed it. And then at the end of the night, she came back and she was like, "Hey, thank you, and you did amazing, blah blah blah." And I've done 4 events with her now.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah. So
that's good.
It goes to show that not yes, they're the boss, but not always they are right when they think that they just want to play this, you know. When you hire a DJ.
Obviously, we're the DJ. We know best. We're the experts.
Of course.
But nobody knows better than we do.
Preach.
But no. Chinchon says, I do have Mackie Pro FX 12V3 12-channel mixer that I connect my iPhone. All I do is write the song on paper notes and I play the song. Yeah, I think, and Buddy does that too. Like he has a request table where he takes the notes. People can write requests, and
he doesn't use his phone though.
Yeah, I don't think he uses his phone because I mean he doesn't have Spotify or Apple.
What do you do? What do you do when it comes to you don't have?
The only time I use paper, sometimes I do these college events where it's just like, anytime it's like kids, younger people, like just kids, I'll use paper sometimes because they just have so many requests. So it's like, it gets crazy. So I write it down. I'll read it later. But at a wedding, I just, people come up to me and say, hey, you know.
Yeah, but what do you do if you don't have the song like on your computer? Do you play it for your phone?
Oh no, yeah, so I've done that in situations where it's like I don't have the song or like any version of it, because sometimes it's like it's only on YouTube or something. So
Yeah.
I'll admit it, I've done it, but I've played a song off of YouTube, like the specific version, especially for Indian music. There's certain songs that you don't like. I don't even know how you would find it,
Yeah.
Some random song. I'll just play from the YouTube. I'll literally play that YouTube file, obviously wait for the ad to finish, and then play the YouTube file from my phone out loud. So I've done that, and I'll do that sometimes if I have to. But
yeah, I mean, me too. Now I have Apple Music, so I use Apple Music for songs that I don't have, and that's because I don't have it on BeatSource, and it's not on my database. So then I will use my phone because again, it's a request and they want to listen to it. So I don't.
And yeah, buddy says, oh, Smiley says he loves he has the same thing, 12 V3 as well. And then Buddy says, don't hook up a phone for a song you can't get it from a pool. It's not good sounding. Yeah, it's the thing. With the quality is always going to be worse. But the thing is those songs, those specific songs that only people have because of YouTube, like they're used to it sounding bad. Like that's just how the quality is of that song. Sometimes those like old songs that are only available on YouTube now.
Yeah,
it's like one of those. I'll do it for the culture. It's certain.
Keep this in mind when those type of requests come, they're drunk already.
Yeah, so they're drunk or
it doesn't matter.
It's like a song. It's like some song that like their family loves or something like that.
Yeah, as long as they can hear it and there is no freaking commercials in between the song, then you're good. But I mean, again, personally, I rarely use YouTube for that stuff. I usually when they ask me for a song, I go into my DJ pools and start looking, see if I can find it. If I can find it, I download it and I just drag it to Serato and it works.
Yeah.
But if not, then I'll play it.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. A lot of these songs are like random Hispanic or Indian songs. They're not on the record pools.
Yeah. No.
So Chinchon says, which is annoying to be honest. Yeah, I think he's talking about like people doing requests and having to play it from your phone. And Buddy says you can tell someone sorry. When I started, you did not have every song. Just say no, it's okay. Yeah, sometimes I'll say no when it doesn't fit, definitely. But sometimes these situations, I'll agree to disagree on that one. The situations where it's like this is some like folk classic song from their home country that this family loves, and it's a vibe, I'm gonna do it.
That's the thing though, you never know if it's gonna work or not.
Yeah, you don't know for sure, but you can get a sense, like especially like if one person comes up to me, I may not do it, like some rando song, play this. I'm like, yeah, chill out. Like, okay, yeah, I'll see. But then usually those types of songs, what I'm talking about, multiple people come up, oh, can you play it? They'll try because they'll go back and talk to each other. No, he's saying no. No, well, let me tell him. Then I get like 2 or 3 people telling me to play the same song. Then I'm like, all right, I know that this is something special.
But that sometimes it's not even, they don't even know the song. They just want to play. They just come up to you because somebody else wants it. But they don't even know the song. They're like, hey, can you play this? And then you say, yeah, later. And then somebody else comes with the same song. Hey, can you play this? Because the other person already came and you didn't play it. And then because of the other person already, and that's the person that wants to listen to the song.
So they send
somebody else. Yeah. So the more people that go, then in your head is like, okay, this song must be fire because a lot of people's coming.
That's the thing. That's the hack. That's the hack. If you want a DJ to take a request, you got to send reinforcements. Send multiple people.
No, drop a 5 or a 10. I'll play it like this. I don't care what.
I mean, it makes a difference because it's true. If just a random person and it matters too. If I've seen them on the dance floor, like I've seen this person on the dance floor the whole time, or they're like, in the center, they're like, because these are the party people. If I have some rando that I never seen on the dance floor and they come up to me and ask me for some random song, like I'm not playing that. I'm like, okay, I'll see. I kind of brush them off. But when it's somebody that I know has been in the middle, they're hype, I'll take it differently, especially when you have multiple of them coming up. So it depends who it is that's coming up to make a request for sure.
Yeah, that too.
And Chinchilla says, still be careful. YouTube MP3 causes some speakers and DJ control have different sound quality. Yeah, I don't use I won't download them in those situations. I'll just, like I said, play it off the phone or whatever. But I won't use their phone. I learned the hard way with that one.
Oh, because it locks too. If it locks,
It locks
off.
It locks up. You better hope you have it like on your controller, then you can go to another song. What I'll say though is whenever you play somebody's request, have a banger ready to go, because if it bombs, just like nothing happened. Oh, hey, shout out to that guy, and just switch the song. That's what I'll do.
Yeah, that's what I do too. When they do a request, I play it, and as the song is playing, I'm checking out like a song that I know it's gonna like bring the bike back up, because I think it's not gonna work. If I see that it's working, I just let it play. But if it's not working, no, I switch it, and I try to like bring everybody up again.
Dude, one thing, this might be kind of bad, but this is another one of my like when I'm not like a nice DJ. I'm more like the passive aggressive type of DJ. So if people really annoy me with a request, like one of those songs, like they're saying multiple people are coming up, then I will play that whole song beginning to end. Like I will not. I don't do that. Like unless that's like that, or like maybe end of the night. But I will play that beginning to end, even if there's some boring ass part in the middle, everyone's just standing around. Like I'll be like, hey, you wanted this song, right? You wanted this song. I'll just play that thing like and just all the way through and be like, all right, you happy now? But no, that's like me being a little petty. But that's like how I do it. The shouting out the guest and then playing the whole song, regardless of what they want to hear or not. Be like, good pick. This is a good pick.
Oh yeah, I never thought about it that way.
That's how I'll do it sometimes.
Yeah, to me,
I'm not saying people should do that. I'm just saying that's how I be petty sometimes.
Yeah.
So Smiley says this is random, but we are adding audio guest book for rent for events from like $80 to $150 easy add-on. Oh, nice, dude.
Wait, so you purchase an audiobook guest book, or you're renting it?
I think he's buying it to then put on as a add-on for clients.
Oh, okay.
Nice. How much? I always wonder how those things work. I think they're like phones. You pick it up and you leave a voice, like a voicemail for them, and then it saves.
Recorder, yeah.
Yeah. So how does it work?
To a USB.
And then you just send them the files afterwards, or do you like compile it into something nice, or you send them like, all right, here are the MP3s, and they have all the MP3s of everybody's voicemails.
Well, I'm pretty sure that you will have to like put them. Like, I mean, you can just give it to them, like the actual flash drive. Just give it to them. But you can also go above and beyond and do like a little like a transition on like, I don't know, like
we'll just put them all into one file.
Yeah, one file, yeah.
So it just plays back to back.
But that's crazy though.
Oh, dude, this is pretty good. Good to know. He says the one he got was $150, and he already has like 3 bookings with it.
Damn.
I might have to look this up. That's good, dude.
Did you get it from eBay?
Audio. Where did you get it from? What's it called? Audio guest book. Let me look it up. So this would be something like even if. Oh, dude, this is not bad.
You want to add it to the?
Yeah. I'm gonna put it up right now. Oh, there we go. Yeah. So look at that. So this is yours is cheaper. But this is, I don't know why it's not loading.
These are Amazon. Oh, okay. You switched it up on us, huh? Amazon. You got a Amazon audiobook.
Oh, it's one MP3 file. So everything gets saved on the one MP3. Well, this is pretty easy because all you need is just a table. It's just small too. So my biggest thing is with add-ons is it becomes so big and heavy and you have to carry all this stuff.
How do you promote them?
I don't. How do you promote it? How do you tell people about it? You just tell them on the.
Yeah, probably. How do you promote this? Like, how do they know about you running this?
I think you probably just have to tell them about it. Yeah, I don't know, man. My internet's being really slow or something.
I feel like maybe you need to do the purchase it and offer it as a free thing to one gig, and then use that as a advertisement, right? Because
maybe, but this is different because it's like an audio file. So like you like, how do you promote it? Like you play the music, play the files for someone. I mean, I think it's, you can explain it pretty easily. Like, oh, you know, they can leave voice messages.
yeah, well, you can record like somebody, like maybe like your wife or somebody. Just go pick up the phone, leave a quick, hey, how you doing? This is a test, whatever, and then just play it later on while you're explaining what it does or how it works. I don't know, man. But I think that's an easy add-on.
I think it's easy because that's the biggest thing is how much time and labor is it, and this thing's like £5 that is looking. Oh, buddy has 2, charges 200. Nice.
Buddy, how does it work? Like,
but buddy also brings the table for requests. So this, I feel like, would be a.
Oh, you know what? Buddy probably, he's gonna take that phone, put it there, and like, hey, if you want a request, pick up the phone, leave it there.
Dude,
I'll get to the party.
The bride and groom at the end of the night, all it is play Bad Bunny. Play Bad Bunny. Play Bad Bunny.
That's funny. I have to find.
No, but that's a great. You make your money back so quickly, and it's really easy. Sounds easy. Smiley says we brought it out free one day to a graduation and did video since I got the 360 booth and DJ. Nah. Or it's a good add-on, exactly. Like someone's trying to negotiate with you, like, all right, I'll throw in this phone.
Exactly. That's how you started. Okay. But hey, that's not bad though, especially for graduations where instead of freaking signing a crocodile with a freaking tap and down thingy, leave a message on a phone that they can have and listen to it all the time.
Bro, forget $200. I'm just gonna leave my cell phone there. Like, all right, put up, make an audio message for the bride and groom.
But then at the party, your phone is gone.
Somebody got a free phone. Mike says he's trying to be like, buddy, dude, you can, dude. You get 2 of them. It's a 3-minute message that the guests can leave. Yeah, that's nice. Hey, well, yeah. If you guys, we never talked about the phones, but that's a nice add-on. Anybody looking for a little bit of extra cash or a good negotiating bargaining chip. And Buddy says it's MP3s. We just click and drag them off the SD card onto a thumb drive. Nice. That's easy too. That's easy enough.
So the phone has an SD card, and then you have to go into a computer and transfer the MP3s into a flash drive and give it to the. Oh, okay.
That's pretty cool though. And people are buying it. Like, hey, and that's easy. Put it in a bag, like a soft shell bag, and it's like instead of bringing an uplight bag, you bring that. It's probably really cool.
Are all the phones like this type? I love this style of phone. Like my grandma used to have one, and I would sit there and start like rolling, like.
Oh yeah. I wonder if it actually works though, or if it's just for show.
Yeah, I don't know. That's interesting.
And then Smiley saying you get it easy. Yeah, dude, that's a good tip, Smiley. Thanks for sharing. Well, look at that. We're at. It's already been an hour. This one flew by.
Oh yeah, boy. All right, guys. Well, it was great talking to you guys. Now you guys know a little bit of how we do the planning for our songs and stuff. We'll get some going for next week. Maybe have some guests in here. We'll see. We'll check it out. And yeah, but read those last ones and then we'll get it.
Nice. Yeah. Smiley says, let me hit these last comments. He just ordered a water slide and a bouncy house also. Smiley, you're the king of the side hustles, bro. That's wild. He's gonna be the one-stop shop, dude, in North Carolina. Watch out, Rick Webb. Watch out. I know you're watching this. I know you watch us every week. But watch out, Smiley's coming.
You get everything. That's crazy.
TBM, 60% of weddings do it. Nice. Charge it up, last all night. It was battery powered too. That's even easier. I love battery powered. Great show. Thank you, man. Night, I head back to work. Oh man, you had to work again. But thanks for stopping by, Chinchillin.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys. Thank you very much for showing up. And we'll see you on the next episode, all right? Have a good one. Peace.